Hello, Aries. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So I'm back up into my space. I'm back in the Magic Kingdom. It's a shitload of smoke. Lily came up here with me. She probably won't stay long. I feel like, if I always set anything up to be like just right, very theatrical, it doesn't work. It's too much. It's a lot of smoke. So, Aries, how are you? I'm going to do a general reading for you. And we are smoking up the place, baby. Actually, the space feels good. I haven't been up here for weeks. Came up yesterday and I vacuumed and I cleaned, although it wasn't really dirty because I haven't been up here for so long. Filled up the bird feeder on the door. Yeah. So I kind of was feeling called to come back to my space anyways. I find as a reader, and I don't know if other readers find this, but if I'm in the same spot all the time, it's as if the area becomes stale energetically. And it doesn't matter, like I could do smudging, singing bowls, or no, it's just sometimes you just need to move your space, or you need to move into another space. So I did that, and then I've been downstairs in the kind of living room, kitchen area, and that space was starting to feel like this one used to. It's almost like going on vacation. I really need to get out of the house. I can't hardly wait to get away. You get away and then you're gone for a little while and you think, boy, it's nice to be home again. Then you go home. Oh, yeah, like everything feels fresh. It's kind of that feeling. So here I am, back in the Magic Kingdom space, smudging like crazy. And, oh God, I'm being called to go to the Faeries. They've been calling me for a bit. It kind of felt like Oakmen calling me, but not like I never sat down and felt like I was supposed to do a reading with them. And the last little while, I've really been looking at the fairy deck, like as it sits in my tray of cards, and thinking, no, it's just the fairies. I haven't touched it in so long. So because it's also been so long since I've touched the fairy deck, I'm going to really go off intuitive messages that I get from them. So I know that I may not be reading exactly what the meaning of the card is, but I'm looking for just really intuitive, sort of like more like psychic pulled in messages from the fairies. I'm going to use the Fountain Tarot in combination with whatever fairy card comes out. So you'll get, I'm hoping for one card, but who knows, maybe there'll be more. I'm just going to let it flow. Maybe I won't even touch the Fountain Tarot. I don't know. It's okay, you can come in. There's a little purple finch sitting on the railing. It's okay, you can come in. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an extended too. The link to that will be at the top of the description within this video if you're drawn to that. Yeah, the fairies, the fairies. I really feel them. Okay. So let's get started, Aries. Look at you kicking off the fairies. I guess it's a fairy week. I don't want to make any promises, but it's a fairy day. We'll do one more. As well, if I hold the card up and there's reflection, you can't see the image very well, I apologize, because I do have my phone, which I record with, turned around so I can't see the screen. I do prefer to do readings that way because I find I focus, I can still get like a good message out, but it's a little more work. It's more distracting for me to see myself, and I just do that downstairs because I'm never really sure, because it's a temporary setup, how it is. But now that I'm in my space, I've got it turned around again. So I apologize if you don't get to see the image clearly. All right, Aries. A message to Aries from the fairies. A message to Aries from the fairies. Oh God, I should have got my glasses because this is such a Tobarel of the waters. Here, take a look. It's not so much what it's called, but again, there's going to be meaning in the cards. Wow, this is a really interesting message. So I really I feel like you're surrounded by women. You're surrounded by women on some level here. I don't know if perhaps it's your family. Maybe there's a lot more women um, than men, or male or masculine energies, or it's an environment where you go. There's, okay, at the bottom, I see a depiction of you. Whether you're male or female, masculine or feminine, I see you like in your femininity here at the bottom of the card. And you can see how this area is all kind of white and blue. This is you down here. And in this image, I see like, almost like they're different aspects of you. I see you moving quickly at times. I see you moving very quickly, almost like a sprite energy. I see you trying to hold water in your fingers, which is, as we all know, almost impossible. It's when you're still, when you're in just in a phase or a period of a few moments in the day, whatever it could be. It's when you're not in quick movement. You stop, and emotions, almost like emotions, run through your fingers. You can't catch them, you can't hold them. Something may stir your emotions very strongly here, and you try to contain it. You try to contain how these emotions feel, the flow of them. You try to contain the flow of these emotions. And then on the other side, there's a darker side to you. It looks very devilishly. Actually, she looks like she's got horns like a ram. So very Aries energy, but it's also coming through as sort of like a devilish side to you. So maybe a more erotic side. It could be a bit of a shit disturber side. There's definitely a dark little side there. And it watches you trying to contain these emotions. Now, there's a group, I feel like a group of feminine energy also watches there, but you see, this is what's really interesting. There's a masculine energy that's very hidden that watches. You see it? He's sitting in here and he's very hidden. This masculine energy is very, very hidden. Oh no, there's two. There's two masculine energies here. And I feel like admiration. There's admiration that comes from these two masculine energies. Who they are to you, I don't know. There's a third energy down here that's a little bit sour, and it feels very androgynous. So I don't know if this person, it doesn't feel like a healthy androgynous energy and being like really balanced with your masculine and your feminine and utilizing that. It actually feels like almost holding both back. It feels very crabby. I'm going to look at its face. I don't know if you can see it, but it does look very, very crabby. There's three entities around you that are in the shadows. These other feminine energies are more like, I don't know if maybe you work with them, if you do community work with them. This could be a friend group, it could be families, sisters. I feel like there's a sense of admiration that also comes from this energy. So this feels actually almost like how you are seen or perceived on some level in some aspect of community. Interesting. We have 37, which is given us, we add the 7 and the 3, and we give us a 10, which could be like a 10 of Pentacles feeling. Like it feels like there's a lot of people here. There are a lot of people in this card. You show up in the forefront when you're reading. And you kind of show up like really sort of angelic. Like you're the one sitting here with the wings. You're kind of glowing. Boy, there's so many sides to you here. Even at the bottom, there's this side of you here. You can see almost like one of these sprite energies trying to rush in and contain the water. I don't know if there's something in this community, in this place where you have a lot of feeling and emotion and you try to contain it. And it's more than one aspect of you that does. This other part here that feels kind of like the devil of you, or the strong, more emperor side, There's a lot of feminine energy here. This one is a little more androgynous. I mean, she does have small breasts, but it's, yeah, like it does feel like a balance of masculine and feminine. Now, too, these could also be like, however, this could be like your spirit tribe. These could be spiritual entities around you, spiritual guides around you. And I mean, if that's the case too, I feel like you have, well, six, at least six that are around you. One is a crab. Oh my God, one of these is really crabby. Feels like the kind of energy of someone that would be jealous. Like it does have like a jealous and envious energy. Again, because it feels androgynous in a negative way. Like that the masculine and the feminine are not utilized. Everything about this person is held back. So they, you know, like they're just jealous. But I feel like for most of you, this is actually in a physical setting. Or in your world. Somehow in your world. This energy here that looks sort of like the Aries symbol, also coming up like a little bit devilish. It feels like a block. See, it's blocking the water, blocking the sprite energy, everything from moving forward. I feel like you're meant to look at the water that's in your hands. You are looking at the water that's in your hands, the emotions, but they spill through your fingers. And I feel like you're almost trying to release them. Oh, this sprite is trying to get you to hold them back, to hold these feelings with you, to not let them go. I want to know more about these two energies back here. It's like they're watching something in process. Like, but there's a sense of admiration. The one directly behind you, a card to give Aries information about this energy. The Tower, the Three of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Two of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. The energy behind you to the right, looking at the card. The energy behind you to the right, looking at the card. The Nine of Cups, the Empress, the Hermit, and Justice. Wow. Okay. The energy that sits behind you sort of admires you, but I feel like there's been some sort of a painful ending here. The Tower and the Three of Wands and the Four of Wands. This feels like, I would say it looks like he's trying to pull spaghetti through a martini glass, but I don't know how well it comes through. The red rope that he's trying to hang on to something, and the Four of Wands, trying to hang on to some sort of celebration from the past, but not able to. There's like nothing to hang on to here. There's no sense of direction and where you can take this. And that just seems like it ends in a failure. And this energy is sort of more darker in the shadow than this one. So, okay, there's someone who I want to say still kind of watches you and admires you, but something has ended between you and them. And I do feel like even if it was just energetically, this person was trying to hang on and continue to create or continue to change the direction of some sort of major disruption here, some sort of ending the Tower. And not being able to. Oh my God, the wax just came out of my mouth. Nice. and not being able to. It does feel like this energy is pulling back, like recessing more and more from you. Now this one is interesting because this one is sitting here like this. It's sort of like really admiring, yes, very much admiring and kind of waiting. It's I don't know how to describe it. Okay, let's look at this. So there's a lot, it's like tons of major arcana too, sitting here. The Nine of Cups and the Empress. This energy, this is very much admiring, almost like a wish come true or a dream, or watching something unfold. It's like someone is watching you unfold. And then the Hermit in Justice. Isolation. No, this is a weird statement. Isolation, or at least a deep self-reflection, is somehow creating justice and balance, whether for them or for you or for both. I want to ask about the crab cake, the crabby cake over here. I don't know what that energy is. It's really cranky looking. The cranky looking entity, the androgynous cranky looking entity. Ace of Coins, King of Wands. I feel like this is actually someone who's, this is a funny King of Wands. It's like he's kind of hiding a bit behind something. It does feel like someone who wanted to create something with you. Oh. Oh. I kind of feel like maybe you've created something, Aries. You've created some sort of a new start for yourself, and you're taking control in your life with the King of Wands, but you're still like coming out from behind a wall. Interesting. The wall that's here is kind of showing up almost like a devilish energy. I also feel like it's a part of your deeper consciousness that is the Emperor within you, Aries, the Emperor, because it's got the horns and everything like an Aries ram. And it won't let you move forward. Again, this King of Wands is kind of held back by something, but it's something within yourself until you look at this water. So the cranky entity is, I do feel, it's just someone who's seeing you create abundance. Create abundance. And it does seem like you've achieved some sort of level of personal growth and empowerment, but you haven't achieved it fully. There's still there's something here about the water. What should Aries look at within the water that falls through their hands? The sun. There's something there. Your wishes, your dreams, your brighter day. You can't move forward until you see this. I don't know. I don't know if it has something to do with the energy over here. I mean, this is a really, with the Nine of Cups, like a wish fulfillment. The Empress, too, for the Emperor. The Chariot. And that's the only card on the bottom. The Chariot. What's on the bottom of the Faeries? Get the heck out of town. Okay. The Oakman. Oh, crazy. The Oakman. Fairies of the future. Oh, man, I knew it. I feel like this is almost also a goodbye from the Oakman. Maybe this is part of the energy that sits behind her. Because, Aries, was it a couple of years ago, the Oakman first they've been on other people's channel. But, you know, I haven't seen anybody use the fairy deck in a long time. But the Oakman came out in the Aries reading just before the pandemic hit North America. And then they kind of took us through the first year of the pandemic. They did want to come out, but they wanted to come out indirectly, Aries. And they wanted to do it where they first entered. Because how interesting is this? The Oakman, but what sits behind them are the fairies of the future. Oh, this is crazy. And the future feels bright. The future feels bright. And the Oakman may even be the energy that got us through the Tower moment. Many of us trying to hang on to what we believed and thought and saw our celebrations and happinesses in our lives, and realizing that information has changed around us, that situations have changed, and that it's improbable, impossible to go back to what we had, where this Three of Wands feels like trying to pull it back in. And the Ten of Swords is the end. It is the end. I feel as though the Oakmen are speaking out to in a way that says, I don't feel like they're saying like this is the end. They may never pop through the deck again. I mean, maybe. But I feel like as a major contributing factor or voice, fairies of the water and fairies of the future. So the future is now. The future is now. And there's something to be looked at that you hold actually within yourself, and you will find the sun. And perhaps this energy too is even energies of people that you were going to meet in the future, energies of spirit guides that are going to be guiding you through the future. There's definitely a sense of strength. And I want to say too, there's three major arcana coming out here. So this doesn't feel like something that is really very easily negotiated. This isn't something that is changed. This is something that you're sort of destined to do. Actually, not even three. There's the Sun and the Chariot sitting out here. It's a lot of major arcana. The Tower also, you know, something that was not avoidable. Geez, it feels more like a collective reading, doesn't it? So I do feel like there's yet to be something or some things created for you. This also feels like this crabby cake face in the background are perhaps things that you're leaving behind, that you've left behind, that you're in process of leaving behind, and creating new beginnings for yourselves, new paths, and just starting to really show yourself and come out into your true personal empowerment. I think I'm actually going to leave this as both. I really think that this is a strong message for Aries. But I think it also is meant to be heard collectively. And I think you could apply this message based on, like, look at your first house in your astrological chart, or see where Aries, like what house Aries is in as well. But yeah, this feels very much like it has a duality. There is a sense of duality here because we're kind of almost feels like ushering something out and also welcoming something new in. It's just so funny how I've just been hearing them calling to me, but not maybe because I had the deck put away and I had them sitting on the front. So I would come and I would look at them, but I never felt as soon as I sat down that I was supposed to pick up the deck. But when I came up here yesterday, all my decks that I had downstairs, I put them back in the shelving unit, and I reorganized everything, and I thought it's time. So I slipped them into the middle of the deck and shuffled it a bit and put it away. And then when I came up today, I thought, I meant to pick up the fairy deck. I had to pick it up with the right intention, with actually out having any intention, is how I was meant to pick up the deck, for them to talk to me. Otherwise, kind of without myself consciously knowing, I would have been trying to force a message. So there you go. That's really interesting. I am going to go do an extended. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.